Hello, welcome to Star Media and Sports Talk. My name is Greg Hoogeveen. I'm here with Todd Oye, the coach of the Luverne Cardinals. We are here today coming to you from the Pepsi-Cola Gatorade studio in downtown Luverne. Welcome, Todd. How are you?
Good. Thanks, Greg. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. You are the first coach that we are doing this, so hopefully this goes good and people enjoy it. So we'll get right down to this. Todd, let me just start off. People know you're the head coach, kind of know you from around town. Probably don't know your kind of the background of the being the coach and stuff. Can you give me a little bit of background on how long you've been here?
Sure.
Your philosophy or whatever you want to do.
Sure. Actually, being a Luverne graduate, I graduated in 1990 from Luverne here. So grew up right in between Luverne and Pipestone on Highway 75 on a farm. So I've always really enjoyed getting to town. My dad jokes around that once I turned 16, all he saw was the taillights of me going to Luverne all the time. But love sports, love everything about it with the school and the community. Fell in love with football. It was a sport that I was able to play. Enjoyed it. As I said, graduated in 1990, went off to college, taught and coached a few years in Rochester. And in the year 2000, I moved back. Coach Swanson had talked to me. He was still coaching here. There's an opening, so I got to coach with him a few years. And he took another job and left, and I became the head coach in the 2002 season. So
2002, okay.
Yeah, I think this is my 23rd season, I should say.
Okay. All right. And at college, did you go for coaching, or what did you go to?
That's interesting. I probably wouldn't have gone to a 4-year school right away. And Coach Swanson encouraged me and said, you have the abilities to do this. You should try to, just go out and give it a shot. And I did. I went to North Dakota State College of Science for 2 years and whopped to North Dakota, where not only did I get a degree, but I found my wife. So I met Carrie there. And after that, I went to Southwest State and played football for 2 years and graduated from there in 1994, and then back to, as I said, started coaching and teaching in Rochester.
Well, that's good. Your love turned into coaching, and now you've been here for, like you said, 23 years. And looking here, we got a 5-0 start this year. It's a great thing. I know a couple weeks, last week we talked about starting at 4-0, and at that point, I think you had mentioned that back in 2014 and 2012 were 2 years where we had started 4-0. Now 5-0. And looking to our next game, did you feel confident about being there at this point of the year, or not? I shouldn't say surprised, but pleasantly pleased? Yeah,
for sure. Mr. Ofdahl, our superintendent of school, always talks. It doesn't matter if you have a good team or what. It's hard to win because the other team's trying to win, and we don't recruit our players. We have good students, and we hope they want to participate. And we're excited about football because it's a sport, with the exception of cross country, that all the boys play together. And you hope things go well. It kind of kicks off the school year in the sport. So of course you want to start out with having a good record, and we open up with a classic game against Worthington, and we've been fortunate to be victorious when we played them a lot, but they're always good, close games. And then we were able to redeem a loss last year to Jordan in the last play of the game. Just an incredibly fun experience for all the guys. And then we got some confidence and have things rolling. And now with the big rivalry game with Pipestone and both teams being undefeated, I don't know if that's happened at this point of the year before, where both teams are undefeated this late in the season.
Yeah, and it's coming to Pipestone and then Jackson too, which is a very good team, and finish with Redwood Falls. Being 5-0, do you think the line is part of that? A good part? I mean, we've had big guys before, but these guys are big and agile. It seems to be getting to the quarterback a little more pressure, and even on the defense.
Yeah, any game, any level of football, it's going to come down to being able to run the football, stop the run, and turnovers. And we have a tremendous group of linemen, and in all my years, I think we had some prep bowl teams that had good lines too, but
Yep.
that's definitely where it starts. The other thing for any high school football team is it's very rare you can count on just one group in one grade.
Right.
And so we really have a good mesh of our sophomores. There's some younger
Yes.
sophomores that are
Yep.
contributing with some skill and speed, and then juniors all over the place, and then the seniors are really that with a lot of those line guys.
Right. So this year you have, I believe it's 12 seniors. So going forward too, you're saying with the juniors, sophomores, there's still a strong group of kids. Not only that, but probably playing, getting valuable time also. So, I mean, we are sitting in a good spot years to come.
Yeah, and you have success and you get to keep playing playoff games. It's more practice, but when you win a homecoming football game, you have all the little kids out there watching.
Right.
It's just success and it's
Easy,
fun.
yeah, easy to build upon.
Yeah, you want to play sports because you want to have fun, and winning is fun.
It
so
is,
right
it
now
is.
we're having fun.
Good, and I hope it stays that way.
Yeah, it is. After games when you get to see the players with their families and friends,
Yes.
and taking all the pictures and smiles on their face, it's very enjoyable.
It's easy to get hyped up and just enjoy it all. I mean,
sure.
When you're losing, it's not good, but winning's fun. Getting back to the Battle Axe, just so people know too, the next game, obviously Pipestone. Looking back here, notes you had sent me said it's the 67th annual, which I don't know in terms of any other rivalry games have gone that long.
Yeah.
That's quite a long time.
Yeah.
And just a little background, it says here that Luverne has won it 37 times, Pipestone 29 times, so we're ahead there. Started in 1957 between the two coaches, just kind of as a rivalry type thing. It has just built from there. Obviously, the Battle Axe, unfortunately, is not here this year.
No,
last
it's
year
up
was a
north.
game. What was the score again last year? It was
3-0.
3-0, that's right. So anyway, we'll get that back this year. And also looking back, the records show you started in 2008. And so if that is correct, and then up to the present, under your tutelage, to say we've won it 9 times, lost it 7 times. So we've got a good record. And again, we can't look past Pipestone.
Right.
It's going to be a tough game and a fun game. It's also away in Pipestone. So anything else with that? Injuries and stuff, I know Ask has just been hurt.
Yeah, just a little bit of the history with the rivalry.
Yeah.
Is Pipestone had some really strong teams in the 80s, and
Yep.
they had won it, I believe, 9 times in a row.
Yep.
And I remember listening to the game. I think Greg Carroll kicked like a 49-yard field goal to win the game to bring the Battle Axe back to Luverne.
Yep.
So, yeah, my first year actually was 2002 when we lost 21-7.
Okay.
And then we went on a streak where we won 10 in a row.
Okay.
So very happy about that.
I missed that part.
To get that to come back our way.
Yep.
But last year's game 3-0. Obviously, you want more points.
Right.
But the week after that, the Vikings won a game 3-0, and I'm like, well, if the professionals 3-0, and we're 3-0. These are high school kids. That is what it is.
Yeah.
But as far as injuries, they had their quarterback has been out, and he just came back and played last week.
Yeah.
I think they might have one other player injured. For us, we do have some injuries, and Adam Aska unfortunately broke his leg last week in practice, so he's one of our starters that are out. We do get Josh Hansen back for this game.
Yep.
So for the most part, everybody's going to have some injuries at this point in the season, and so now it's whoever's up, the next guy gets to go in, and away we go. We play.
Right. And you've got some good guys to back them up too, and so that's good to hear. Any other bright spots this year in your coaching? Be it with the team or just maybe other coaches? Is there?
Every year is a little different,
Right.
with a little different character, and the seniors usually set the tone. And this group, just small things like in practice yesterday, I'm always, you don't want to get into this mundane routine where
Right.
it gets boring. And yesterday, just to try to get things pepped up a little bit. I noticed the kids they divided their lines up and they count to 8 when they're stretching, and they had a competition. One side was doing the odds, the other was doing the evens.
Okay.
I was really happy to know that they knew the difference between odds and even numbers. That was good. And it got really loud, and they're just having fun. So small things like that this season are
a good group of kids together.
Yes, for sure.
Good.
There's always going to be, not necessarily going to be best friends all the time, but they all seem to get along, and we've had very minimal distractions.
Yeah, I can see that on the sidelines too, that a lot of these kids are rooting for the others, either getting on them or cheering with them too. So
yeah, I think at the end of the last game, Levi Huseman scored a touchdown.
Yes.
And I don't know if I saw our sideline as excited all year as they were for Levi to score that touchdown.
I saw Eli Woodley lift him up in the air too, and I just thought, well, I got a picture of it, but I just thought that's great.
Yeah, that was fun.
And then also kickoffs now and then 67.
Lucas Madison.
Lucas, the thicker kicker they call him.
He's a sophomore, so he does kick on the JV, and they kind of had nicknamed him that as a freshman.
Okay.
So yeah, he's a big D tackle, and he goes in there and does a nice job kicking. So
yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah, stuff like that too. Just different than what you expect. So, one other thing I want to hit here. You're the athletic director. Am I saying that right? Or
athletic and activities. We do a lot of the scheduling of the facilities and stuff.
Do you have much to do with the online tickets? Is that
yes?
Okay.
Really, it's something that's started with the section and state have been doing it for years.
Right.
Actually, we've been to the state hockey tournaments, and it's strictly online ticketing, and even when you go to the concessions, it's strictly card only. And it was a request we've had, why don't you take cards? And so we've moved to that as far as online, and we're using the same company. There's different companies that do use online ticketing, but we're using the same group that our section will use, and the state for the most part will use. And there are other conference schools that have started using it.
So once they get on this, in the app that you use is called
GoFan.
GoFan. And so if they go on to GoFan, they should have that same access, at least for the Luverne games and sectionals.
Yeah, you can do it different ways.
Okay.
You can put the app on your phone, or you could go directly just to the website.
Okay.
And if you don't want to have another app with your credit card in it, you can do a one-time thing.
Okay.
And scan through, and it's nice once you have that in your phone. You can just have your ticket ready, walk by, we tap the screen, and you're in.
Yep. One thing I do have to point out, my daughter and I went to a volleyball game the other week, and she didn't have a ticket last minute. Went on there, got the ticket, great. Process was great, took the money, get to the line, and I couldn't find where the ticket was. Of course, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Finally found it, showed them the ticket, got in, but it was an easy process once you know what you're doing. So I think at that time, too, they were still taking a little bit of the money, but they are going to go to all the online from now on. Is that correct? Or are we still doing?
I think we'll still offer that cash option just for the people.
Transition,
during the regular season. And you get to the postseason, and that's regulated by different groups.
Yep.
So
okay.
Big one is really concession stand. We've been using it a little bit, and it's amazing how many kids, they just have cards.
Right. Well, carrying cash around is kind of hard. And
parents might give an allowance on a card, and that's what they use. There is a finance fee the user does pay when they purchase something, but it's a little convenience
and stuff. Yes. So I get that too. All right. Well, again, I would like to thank you for being on here. Unless you have anything else that you want to.
No, I like this.
Okay,
kind of fun, something new.
And we hope that the people who watch this enjoy this. This is something we're going to try. Different coaches, different sports, athletes too. Again, we'd like to thank our sponsors for this show is Sunshine Foods, Papik Motors, Sunshine Gas, Real Estate Retrievers, Functional Nutrition, and Pepsi, Pipestone, and for the set here also. Appreciate it. Stuff like this we want to bring to you. Just get insight with some of the coaches and people. And so, again, thank you, Todd.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it. And it's time to load the bus, and that's our show.